Good afternoon, and welcome to the Principal LED webinar on going over and introducing the StreetWrap Generation 2. What we're going to be covering today are going over some of the new specs that we have for the brand new product. It's been rebuilt from the ground up. We're going to do a little bit of comparison on how it looks when you're looking at it against the Generation 1. And additionally go over some of the product and sales support that we have available. Before we start real quick, just to introduce everyone that's on, my name is Derek Copper. I work in the engineering department and will be one of the main people that if there are any questions or concerns from a field cut or if there's any installation questions, the ones available. And then Daryl Foreman, our VP of Sales, is also on as well. So if there are any questions you guys have, please feel free to enter it into the chat, and we will be keeping up with that throughout. We have Lauren from our marketing department here checking the screen and keeping us updated on what's going on. So as you can see on the screen in front of you, the picture on the on the left is the profiles of the new colors. They are available in red, blue, green, and white, as you can see, with the white track also having RGB capabilities. This one is, as you can see, made with, we went away from our module layout design that we had with the Gen 1. This did a couple things for us. One, it let us use a 24-volt light tape instead, which gave it a better illumination, more diodes made so you don't have to worry about hot spots or pulling out modules to make cut marks and making sure that they didn't, when you put them back in, there wasn't any gaps that would create any dark spots and interrupt that faux neon look. This also made it where instead of having to being at the mercy of a module length, which in some cases could be about 3 inches, up to around 3 inches, you can now have very distinct cut marks on the light tape that are available to be made every 2 inches. Because we have moved to a 24-volt system, that means that we are able to go to a larger power supply. So this new power supply is 24-volt and 96 watt and can run 4 8-foot sections for a total of 32 feet on one single power supply. And again, as we have down at the bottom, it is a very similar setup to what the Gen 1 has, where you have a track and then a lens color and then the light tape to determine what the illumination is. So you have your red, blue, and green that you would use red, blue, and green, but you also have the white track that if a customer wanted to have it available in white during the day when it was off, but red, blue, green, or RGB at night, they have that option. Right here are the accessories that go with it. In addition to the products having the normal 96-inch track, 96-inch lens loaded with the light tape on it, you have corner pieces that will go over miter cuts for both inside and outside corners. You have your middle connector in the middle that instead of having to put an end cap between cases, you can just butt these up next to each other, put a small bead of silicone, and then place the middle connector over top of it. We have the end caps themselves, which fit over very snugly. They were designed by us with the injection molder to make sure that this was all very secure and tight as much as possible. But you also see as an extra backup, we have mechanical screw hole fasteners along with the screws to make sure that they don't come off in the field. And then the mounting brackets have been changed from those clips that you screw in and then snap the Gen 1 into it, where you could actually see the mounting brackets from the outside. If you were looking up or post install, you'd still be able to see them. These are completely hidden. You will be able to drill them into the fascia, and then the new track, which is also aluminum to prevent any sagging, snaps right on top of them, and you will never see them once they're installed. We have a nice little comparison chart here. A lot of the stuff we kind of been over, but just to run it down, the differences and some of the things that we did decide to keep. Gen 1, as you can see, we got the 12-volt with a 60-watt power supply versus the new 24-volt 96-watt, allowing for more of the sticks and the longer runs on a single power supply. The module-based design versus a light tape to allow for greater evenness of illumination, output, and more options when it comes to cutting in the field because of the 2-inch cut marks. The optics here really won't play into it as much since we're illuminating the lens itself, but having the 120-degree optic here just off the LED, since it is on a light tape, allows for more direct light to the face instead of having to go through a lens. That they may not seem like much, but anytime it goes through any kind of lens or anything of that nature, there is going to be some dispersion of the light and a little bit of light loss. So this will just add to having more light to that actual lens. The mounting track, as I just mentioned, was visible on the old one. There were 7 mounting brackets that you would need for 106-inch section on the old one, and you could see it once it was done. It didn't get in the way of the illuminated part, but during the day, they were definitely visible, something you would see. The new one, as I said, completely hidden. The power per foot, pretty similar, but you still get a little bit more power output on the new light tape. The old module-based design used our Street Fighter series, as many of you are aware, and that was in the 7,000 Kelvin temperature range. The new one is using our double-density light tape in the 24-volt version, and that one was available to us in 6300. So there is a slight difference in the new white that's available, but unless you have those right next to each other, you're really never going to notice the difference. There's a difference in the length of the old one versus the new, 106.5 versus 96. The 96 worked out well given the watts per foot. It allowed us to get that exact 8-foot section as opposed to, in between a 8 and a 9-foot section with the old. And then you can also see that because of the light tape and the extra diodes, the output is significantly more. You're going from 1600 to almost 2200 on the new one. Things that stayed the same that we kept, still have a 5-year product and 5-year limited warranty available. All of the products and individual pieces of the street wrap have been UL, ROHS, or CE certified. It's the same light tape we've always been using, so there should be no issue there when it comes to having field inspectors come out and take a look at it. Still available, red, blue, green, and white, and RGB. And then it is available in custom colors. Because we are doing, we're doing all of this ourselves now, and we're working with the plastic supplier and the extruder and the injection molding company. There is a minimum order quantity when it comes to custom colors that we can talk about later on if there are any questions. Product support, as I already introduced myself, I'm on the right, Derek Hopper. The other two are Eric Tanner and Nick Kolaczyk. I'm sure most of you at some point or another have talked to one of us or all three of us. So we're going to continue to be here to support as this rolls out and answer any questions that there will inevitably be. Sales support, we got, as I said, we also have Daryl on the line. He's our Senior VP National Sales. I'm sure everyone here knows Daryl, and same thing with Jeff. Jeff is our National Account Manager, and they're both great guys that work for us that, have to answer phone calls and take questions anytime you guys have them. And if they can't answer it, they'll hand it off to us to make sure it does get answered. Take an opportunity to take a look at this map. We do have this map available on p-led.com. If any of you are unfamiliar with your regional sales manager through p-led, we have had some changes recently, so if you haven't looked in a while, you may want to take the opportunity to look at the regions. As always, online resources or catalogs, the webinars as we do now through p-led Academy, and then Easy Layout Builder, though the Easy Layout Builder will not be functional for the street wraps. Right now, we're still going to be focusing mainly on orders through the build-a-border, which we have redesigned to accommodate for the new mounting bracket numbers required for each 96-inch piece, power supplies of that nature. It's been completely redone. It's already available on the website and ready to go. And layouts for these projects are going to be a little bit more difficult. We're going to try to do everything we can with their architectural drawings to talk through it, but with our existing layout software and what we have, it's mainly meant for more channel letters, cabinets of that nature. So we're always happy to help you guys any way we can. Just know that those may take a little bit longer than if it was a channel letter set or any other cabinet. Any questions? I know Daryl's on. If there's anything that you wanted to add, Daryl, happy to have you jump in here. Otherwise, we're going to be looking at the questions that have been submitted through the text. And
right now, we don't have any questions, but please feel free to send those if you have them. And while your questions are coming in, just please note that there are handouts located in the handout section of your webinar viewer, so you can go there to see spec sheets and several of those literature items that can help you guys and assist you. And those are online as well, so you can always download those from p-led.com in addition. Daryl, it doesn't look like we have any questions right now, but we can certainly wait around a few minutes.
Okay, yeah.
Let anybody know if they have anything.
Sounds great. You there, Daryl?
Hey, Derek, when are we expecting the RGB to be in-house?
Right now, we're waiting on some components to come in before we can get the actual order to arrive, and that's really all we're waiting on is the light tape to come in. So I don't have an exact date at this moment. However, based on the last communications I saw with it, we should be looking at from mid to the end of February.
Great, thank you.
And we'll keep everybody updated on that as we find more information out. So if that changes for better or worse, we'll keep everybody apprised of the situation.
Any questions coming in, guys?
We don't have any right now.
Well, I say we go ahead and say thank you for joining us, guys. I appreciate it. If you have questions later, you can reach us in San Angelo or reach out to your local rep and ask them the questions, and we'll get right back to you with our answers.
That sounds great, Joe. Yeah, we're always available, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Time, and then if it's after hours, depending on which coast you're on or time zone, just shoot us an email, and everyone here is good about responding and getting back to you as soon as we can.
Well, everyone, thank you again for joining us. Lauren, I think this concludes our webinar today.
Very good. Thank you, guys. Enjoy your day.